I want to come in. I want to come in and give her the middle way, right? Not there.
गणपतेः वराकार्य सिद्धि कुरु कुरु नमः। ओम गणेशाय नमः।
இந்த ஜீவனமான நிகழ்ச்சி கலந்து கொண்டிருக்கும் மதத்திற்குரிய பெரியவர்களே, தாய்மார்களே, குழந்தைகளே, நம்முடைய இருந்து காலம் சென்ற சதா நாயுடு அவர்கள் நம்மை விட்டு எல்லாம் வல்ல இறைவன் பாதை அடைந்தார். இன்றைக்கு நாம் தெய்வீக பக்தி பாடல்களை பாடி நமது சகோதர பெயரால் இறைவனுக்கு பூமாலையாக சுட்டு வந்துள்ளோம். அதே சமயத்தில் இந்த ஆத்மாவின் நல்ல பதிவையும் சாந்தியம் வேண்டும் என்று நம்முடைய உலக பிரார்த்தனை. அது மட்டுமில்லாமல் இந்த சூழ்ந்த குடும்பத்தார்கள் யாவும் இந்த ஆழ்ந்த துக்கத்தில் இருக்கும்படியாக நான் இறைவனை வேண்டுகிறேன். அவர்களுக்கு தைரியமும் பலத்தை கொண்டு காட்டி இறைவன் நம்முடைய பிரார்த்தனை. My humble வணக்கம், நமஸ்காரம், and greetings to all of you as we are all gathered here this afternoon to bid farewell to our late Sadha Naidoo. We invoke the blessings of God through sacred hymns for the Devotional through us in our devotional songs, asking the Lord Shiva to grant unto this soul eternal peace and shanti, and also to comfort this family during this trying time. Shall we all bow and stand in prayer? Thank you. முன்னவனே யாரே முகத்தவனே முத்தினரும் சொல்லவனே தூய்மை சுகத்தவனே மன்னவனே சிப்பரனே ஐங்கரனே செல்சடையும் சேகரனே தற்பரனே தாசரம் உலகளாந்து ஓதற்கு அறியவன் நிலமுலாவிய நீர்வடிவே அழகு சோதியன் அம்பலத்திலாகுவார் மலர்ச்சிலம்படி மாற்றி வணங்குவார் மலர்ச்சிலம்படி வார்த்தி வணங்குவார். நன்றி. அமரங்கள். தேங்க்யூ. ப்ளீஸ் ப்ளீஸ். We always pray for Devotional Lord Vinayaka, Ganesha, Ganapam. We ask Lord Vinayaka to remove all obstacles in the path of our dear Father, that his soul may reach Shivapada and attain moksha. Thank you. முதல்வனே நாயகனே ஞான முதல்வனே நாயகனே நலும் நல்கிடும் சித்தி விநாயகனே ஞான முதல்வனே நாயகனே நலும் நல்கிடும் சித்தி விநாயகனே ஞான முதல்வனே நாயகனே வேடமுகத்தவனே வித்தகனே வேடமுகத்தவனே வித்தகனே வினை வேதனே திடும் உத்தமனே வேதனே திடும் உத்தமனே ஞான முதல்வனே நாயகனே நலம் நல்கிடும் சித்தி விநாயகனே நாயகனே ஞான முதல்வனே நாயகனே மூலப்பரும் பொருளே உங்கடனே மூலப்பரும் பொருளே உங்கடனே சிவ முத்துகுமரனுக்கு உந்தவனே நாதத்திலே எழுத தத்துவனே நாதத்திலே எழுத தத்துவனே நாவினிலே நாடும் நந்தனே நாவினிலே நாடும் நந்தனே நாயகனே ஞான முதல்வனே நாயகனே நலம் நல்கிடும் சித்தி விநாயகனே நாயகனே ஞான முதல்வனே நாயகனே விநாயகனே சுடலை பொடி ஓசியன் உள்ளம் ஏழுடைய மலரானுனை நான் பணிந்தேன் அருள் செய்த வேளுடைய இரவாபுரமேடிய வேளுடைய இரவாபுரமேடிய இவனே அருணரிய மறைவல்ல மோனியதன் பொய்யே அலமேய அருணரிய மறைவல்ல மோனியதன் பொய்யே அலமேய பெருணரிய மனமை துணர்கான சமூகங்கள் உரை செய்த திருவுலகிய தமிழ் வள்ளுவர் கொள்வினை திருவுலகிய தமிழ் வள்ளுவர் கொள்வினை தீர்த்த எளிதாமே திருவுலகிய தமிழ் வள்ளுவர் கொள்வினை தீர்த்த எளிதாமே தீர்த்த எளிதாமே. சொற்குலை ஒற்றுமை போற்றுந்த கை தோட போற்றுந்த கை தொட கற்பனை போற்றினோர் கடலில் பாற்றினோர் கற்பனை போற்றினோர் கடலில் பாற்றினோர் கற்பனையாவது நமச்சிவாயவே கற்பனையாவது நமச்சிவாயவே மாப்பிள்ளை கருவிய கை கோட மாப்பிள்ளை கருவிய கை தொட நாப்பினை கருவிய நமச்சிவாயவத்தும் நாப்பினை கருவிய நமச்சிவாயவத்தும் ஏற்கவல்லார் தமக்கு ஏற்கவல்லார் தமக்கு
Sadha Naidoo, and stunned because it was actually a double whammy. Sadha went to Johannesburg to attend the funeral of his Samandi and to support the family. And here we are today. He passed away a week to the day that his Samandi passed, and we are here today to pay our final respects to him. I would just like to please request everybody during the course of this entire ceremony, which is not long, we'll be here only until 4:30, to kindly observe silence. We do, unfortunately, in these times only get to meet family during funerals more often than not, so there will be greetings and what have you, but if you could just avoid the chatter, because it actually carries across the hall, it disrupts the service, and I'm saying because I could see we are blessed to have Kumares and Chetty, one of the most distinguished Carnatic and devotional singers, so we all know and will hear from the many tributes. We had to prune the tributes. Sadha was a very quiet man, didn't say, was not a loud man. He had opinions, he made his contributions, and there are many, many who wish to pay respects. We've trimmed it to 5 this afternoon, and a few written tributes. I'll only read 2 of them. So, ladies and gentlemen, we're going to be here till 4:30. Let's observe silence and give him the dignified departure that he deserves. The first 2 speakers are going to be Anand, followed by Vivashni, and I queried, is that Sadha's granddaughter, forgetting that, you know, when we grew up as a joint family. Padma is my sister. The fact that she's my father's sister's daughter didn't matter. You know, all of us grew up as brothers and sisters, so Vivashni is Sadha's granddaughter, and so we're going to get 2 perspectives on his life. Anand, if you could come forward, and then immediately after you finish, Vivashni will follow.
Thank you, Kanta. I'm looking forward to introduce our legacy. Mr. Kanta Pure, the renowned personality in the community. I also want to thank you on my behalf for asking to observe silence. I would have done that, but thank you so much. I appreciate it.
Vatican family and friends, it gives me
with great sadness to share a tribute for our fond Uncle Sadha as we bid him farewell. Today we gather to remember and honor the life of a truly cherished elder, Uncle Sadha, also known in many names of affection to each one of you. Especially a wonderful, loving husband to Auntie Padma, father to the wonderful sisters of Ramani and Priyan, and father-in-law to our brothers Ashen and Malayan, and of course, a beautiful grandfather to Yuvanya, Kirtan, and Sadha. It's especially sad when you see grandchildren having two grandparents leave this earth so quickly. And I think that is one of the pause moments for all of us to reflect on the mortality of life and the suddenness in which it can take place. And through this journey of mourning from the number, Auntie Padma was a pillar of strength and Ramani was a pillar of strength in navigating that journey of loss. And sadly today, or last Wednesday, we have to start the loss of a wonderful soul in Uncle Sadha. So as we stand here to give tribute to Uncle Sadha, we stand here as a tribe of family, a tribe under a huge forest that we grow, to the seeds we plant, to the effort we take to nurture relationships that each one of you have nurtured in your wonderful, unique journey with Uncle Sadha. Our merger of families started with wonderful Ramani continuing the beautiful culture of Ashen and then married into our larger family, and hence Sashen's and Ramani and their extended families were our extended families. Our journey then continued into Johannesburg, where Sashen and Ramani followed to be part of what we'd like to create and planted their own seeds of growth and nurture. And through that, Uncle Sadha and Auntie Padma spent many a wonderful time in the many festivities that we enjoyed in Johannesburg, the many prayers at our wonderful temple, and hence merged the families even more in a united bond of love. A love that endured and will always endure because of the nurturing and caring that each one brings to this unique relationship. Uncle Sadha has left an indelible mark on our hearts. His sudden passing at the age of 77 has left a void, but his legacy of kindness, humility, and care will continue to inspire each one of us. And that's the solace that I share to Auntie Padma, that memory, that joy, that quiet advice is the memories that keep and will always be kept as we navigate this painful period. Uncle Sadha was more than just a family member. With his strength and wisdom, he shared this around us all with his calm demeanor, friendly nature, which made everyone feel comfortable and valued in his presence. His sudden passing at the tender, I would say tender because we never thought he would go, of 77 has left him void, but that legacy that I shared of kindness, humility and caring will continue to inspire all of us in our journey on this earth. As we each don't know when the day of our calling will come, will ask us to merge with our. Uncle Sadha was more than just a family member. He brought strength and wisdom to all those around him. His calm demeanor and friendly nature made everyone feel comfortable and valued in his presence. He had a unique ability to connect with people on a deep and personal level, leaving a lasting impression wherever he went. Ironically, my two boys, when we left Uncle Dapa's funeral, they traveled with him in the car and had a wonderful conversation around how he rebuilt his driveway and all the challenges that he had during those many challenges that come to human living. One special memory that I hold dear is that we were the last to see Uncle Sadha on Monday night, Mom and I. And when we went to the hospital that night, he had a sandwich that Ramdi had purchased for him because he felt like a toasted cheese. And when we arrived, we hadn't started eating it, but he had said he wants to eat. And I said, let me phone Ramani, and we had a chat with Ramani, and then we warmed the sandwich. He had his first bite, and I forgot to put on his dentures, and we had to get his dentures in, and then he enjoyed that sandwich. All through that journey, talking about the newspaper that he'd read for the day, sharing the specials that he believed we should be buying because it's well cost effective, and also sharing things that I work with the railways, and we had a strong bond around his work in Baden Wharf, where we talked a lot about his journey in his working life. So that strong memory is one that he died peacefully. That's all I can say, is that he died with a smiley face. And I think that caring and sharing is what we will remember of Uncle Sadha. And his commitment to always stay informed, always read, and always have the ability to converse. Uncle Sadha's life teaches us, therefore, valuable lessons that extend beyond this moment of mourning. His legacy reminds us of the quality of our relationships, and the way we make people feel are the true measure of our lives. Uncle Sadha was a living example of how to nurture and care for family, friends, and colleagues, and even strangers. In the world where sometimes seems to prioritize the individual, Uncle Sadha was a testament to the power of an extended family, where each member contributes to the growth, learning, and character development of the whole. And that connects to the thought that it's a village that we raise ourselves within, that our children raise themselves within. And each person in that village contributes to creating the value system that we live in, which should be centered on humility, compassion, and a spirit of sharing and caring. As we grieve the loss of this beloved elder, let us not only remember his warmth and kindness, but also strive to emulate the qualities in our own lives. Let us honor Uncle Sadha's memory by fostering deep and personal relationships, by making people feel valued, willing to apologize when we feel we've hurt people, and nurturing a sense of community within our extended families and far beyond into our communities. In conclusion, Uncle Sadha's legacy lives on with each one of the relationships that he has with us and with each one of us. Let us carry forward the lessons he taught us, sharing his spirit of kindness, humility, and caring with the world as we bid farewell to this extraordinary soul. Let us remember the numerous memories we have that we created and how we want to create more by demonstrating our love, so that our true legacy always remains how we make people feel and how we care and share in this world where our individualism should merge into the sea, just like our soul ultimately leaves and merges with the Atma. With those words, I'd like to just share a poem that has been something that gave us solace for my dad's death, and we were sharing it during the prayer services of Namba along his journey, and I thought it fit for sharing it as a closing share. So that's the share bread is written our breath. I'm told that when we're born, our breaths are numbered. And when all drawn, our lives just stop. Our breath is done, even if life's just begun. Conscious now of every breath, each one closer to our death. There is no time to be wasted, no time to hate, no time for greed, no time for ego's pride to feed. Look for the lessons we're here to learn, face them with courage so that we might earn God's grace, then die with a happy, smiling face. Om Sai Ram. Thank you, everyone. Really, Papa, we are here for you. Rami, Claire and family, Sashen, Malen, we are here for you always. Thank you so much.
Father, the epitome of strength, reliable against all odds, and courageous beyond belief. Namaskaram to all present today. It is with a heavy heart that I stand before you today to pay tribute to a remarkable father, a devoted husband, a loving father-in-law, and my caring and doting grandfather, Mr. Sadha Naidoo. The youngest of 7 siblings, he was an astute worker whose success was a direct result of his endless hard work, sheer determination, and the motivation to always strive for his family. A man of very few words, but with the most benevolent of hearts. An impeccable soul that believed that the service to humanity was in fact the service to God. And he instilled such honorable values in his 2 daughters and taught them the importance of seva, both within and around the community of Effingham where he resided. The crowd present here today bears testament to the length and breadth of his admirable character. I had the opportunity of spending the last few weeks with Sadha, who as I affectionately referred to him as the sheriff. And whilst in short visits at the hospital, our banter and laughter were mostly centered around his meticulous attention to his self-care and his grooming. These times will certainly resonate with me as one of my fondest moments and memories, and to be able to render his eulogy today is both an honor and my privilege. William Shakespeare once said, "All the world's a stage, and all the men and women are merely players. They have their exits and their entrances, and the one man in time plays many parts." We thank you, Uncle Sadha, for the irreplaceable part you have played in each of our lives, for your magnificent strength in bringing the pillar of strength that held and will continue to hold the Naidoo family together, for your hardships endured to allow your family every opportunity, for your dedication, generosity, and devotion as an avid member of your senior citizens group and the Ambien Temple. Most especially for your tenacity, resilience, and positivity in fighting your illness these last 3 weeks. For all you were and for the legacy you leave behind, we salute you. May you be safe and at peace, guided by Lord Ganesha, as we bid farewell on your journey, forever in the hearts of your family. Namaskaram.
Thank you to Anand and Devotional for those wonderful tributes. For those who arrived whilst the tributes were being delivered, you may now pay your final respects while Congress continues with the rendition of devotional items.
Namaste. Om Saram Chokfi. My name is Roy Gavanda, and I'm a nephew of Sadha Naidoo. Now, to talk about Sadha, to talk about the Naidoo family of Greenwood Park. And in order to do that, is that we need to get back to our roots. So here is a brief snippet of that. The grand patriarch of the family was a Mr. Patriarch Naidoo, who came from India and served his indenture not on the cane fields, but on the mines. Upon his completion of this indenture, he acquired a piece of land in Greenwood Park, and he began farming, which later on became known in the community as Orange Farm. Pacha's wife was also from India. I do remember seeing a photograph of both of them. Back then, when a couple posed for a photograph, it was the husband who sat on the chair, and the wife stood alongside him. And looking at the photograph, one could see that they spent many hours in the hot sun. Pacha Naidoo had two sons, Apple Sami and Ram Sami. Apple Sami had 3 boys and 9 girls, so there was 12 in the family. And Ram Sami had 6 boys and 1 girl. So Pacha altogether had 19 grandchildren. Apple Sami was my grandfather, and Ram Sami was Sadha's father. So now we let me put things into perspective. Sadha was the last surviving member of that generation. And sadly, that generation is no more. It is now my generation, which is up there. And that would be Pacha's great-grandchildren. There were 46 of us, 33 from the Apple Sami side, and 13 from the Ram Sami side. Sadly, 14 of them passed on. So presently there are just 32 of us left in this generation. Of course, there is great-grandchildren and great-great-great-grandchildren, and they are scattered around this country and around the world. So it's briefly, it's a legacy of Pacha's legacy. When Sadha was 4 years old, his mother passed on. And as is common practice back then, my grandmother took him in and grew him up next door. He did his schooling and even got married from there. I do remember Sadha's 21st birthday party, which was a big thing there back then. We had many birthday parties, christenings, functions in the Greenwood Park. All the siblings who come over there, their partners and their children. So it was mainly the daughters who came with husbands and their children. But there was always a party crowd whenever we function. Even Janda prayers that we used to have. You know, unfortunately, only 2 generations pursued that, the prayer. And by the way, for any of you who don't know the significance of that prayer, was it was a vow that was taken on the ship. And they were coming down from India, coming down to South Africa. And they said that when they reach safely, they will worship these flags. So why? There was this pole and these flags. And so it was whoever was on that thing. So it was a custom that pursued not only amongst the Hindus, but the Muslims also did this prayer. I remember this lately, we used to have a Muslim priest that used to come around and do this. Now, this 21st, coming back to this 21st birthday party, I remember this especially because they used to present a key to somebody, to this. I stand thinking, I said, hey, what happened to this key these days? The 21st birthday party. Nobody gets the keys in. It was supposed to be key to freedom. But that stuck out in my memory also. And as is common in most families, after the daughters get married, they would regularly visit their mother's house. Likewise, my mom did so as well. And then that became my aya's house. But I would say I'm going to Aya Park. Greenwood Park, Aya Park. And this is an interesting fact, from all of Upper Sami and Ram Sami's siblings, children, Sadha was the only one who learned how to drive. None of the other brothers knew how to drive. And some of you may recall the very first vehicle that we had was a red and white Thames Kombi that used to go everywhere to the markets, to the ladies, etc. Finally, I'd like to say that when I'm ready for supper, you'll see some of the history of Ratma on the walls, so I won't talk too much about it now. So for those of you who came in while those last 2 tributes were being made, please pay your last respects while the rest continues with some songs.
Love for Sadha and the extended family. There we learned the importance of family, perseverance and resilience. Today, although an era ends, we know that Ramani, Priyan and the children will continue the wonderful Green Park legacy into the next generation and beyond. Dear family, we pray for strength, courage and peace as you grieve your loss. We pray that those around you will support you in the sadness of your mourning and in the joy of your